So Allegheny is represented by first-year head coach Braden Layer, as well as senior wide receiver Declan O'Brien, Irwin, PA native and graduate of Norwin High School. And Coach, we'll start with you for the first question. You've been back in Meadville for 5 months. What have you enjoyed most about your time back at Allegheny College, and what are you most looking forward to in your first season as head coach of the Gators?
Yeah, well, thank you. First of all, I'd be remiss if I didn't thank everybody in attendance here today, from the media members that work tirelessly in their profession, from the dedicated head coaches that are here and tremendously respected across the country, support staff and SID professionals, and then obviously the student athletes that are what make the PAC in this conference so very special. As far as the first 5 months, I think what was really nice is that there is some level of new and old. And all I mean by old is the comfortability with at least the process of Division III, of Allegheny College, how you can recruit, how we go through the retention issue of players that are on campus, convincing them to buy into the new staff, what the football program will be about, and what the future looks like. And then obviously, like I said, with recruiting, from applications to appeals and building the community in support of our staff, there is some level of familiarity with it. Now, the new side of it, I really accept the position because I believe wholeheartedly in what the future of our college and our football program look like. So that is what I am very, very excited about. It is the new. So between the new and the old, I think there's a perfect blend of it, and we are excited to hit the ground running. We've been hard at work for the last 5 months, but especially now it's a little bit of a tease today, getting together, and then realizing we're still a week away from everybody reporting and getting to practice. But it'll be here before you know it.
Okay. As an offensive-minded coach, does it help you transition into this new role when you have 3 returning seniors at quarterback, running back, and wide receiver, plus multiple offensive linemen back?
Tremendously, especially as an offensive-minded head coach. And I'd also like to mention our associate head coach, Matt Cochran, who is very heavily involved in our offense. That makes my transition into the head coaching position way easier, especially doing this for the first time. No matter what blueprint or what you think you have prepared, there are unique circumstances that happen every single week where you may have to go a little bit off script. So to have guys like Declan, like Jack, like Carson Messmer, and Jack Turner up front, and you mentioned, and Trey Worship at the running back position, I feel very, very lucky to have those guys and to build on a lot of good things that you may have seen on film in the last few years. Certainly there will be new wrinkles. We kind of believe in the philosophy of players, formations, and plays as far as how we build what we do offensively, defensively, and with our special teams. But ultimately, right, good football programs are player-led, and it is fantastic to know I have guys like Declan to rely upon as we move forward.
So we've talked about your first 5 months and having some veterans back. With all that taken into consideration, what do you hope to achieve in your first season as Allegheny's head coach?
We are very much going to take it 1 week at a time. I don't think we are fortunate enough to look past anybody. That is not the case whatsoever. So all we have on our mind right now is that first game, and even before then, how we can break it up into one-day increments, right, and getting better one day at a time. We are a football program that needs that tremendously. So I also hope that whoever watches one of our games, whether it is live, in person, over a broadcast, or certainly the fantastic teams that we are going to go against, we are going to fight for 4 quarters. That is something that has to be on display for us, and we don't want to ever feel like we are entering a week out of position against a team that we can't compete against. And again, a 4-quarter battle is what we hope we can put on display every single week.
Thanks so much, Coach. Now we have a couple questions for Declan. What were your first impressions of Coach Layer throughout spring ball, and what has you most excited about working with Coach in a new system this fall?
The first thing that really stuck out to me with Coach Layer is the levels of passion and enthusiasm that he brings on the field, in the weight room, in the film room, and how that kind of just rubs off on everyone. He coaches at a level that is years above his level of experience, and we've had a lot of great energy throughout the spring, and I'm excited to see how that will continue to build throughout camp and into the season. And offensively, I'm most excited for the freedom that we get as players to make our own decisions and calls, both pre-snap and post-snap. Coach trusts us to read the defense and communicate with each other on the decisions we make, and I think it sets us up best for success, and it allows us for a dynamic offense and lets us get the matchups that we want to have.
Outstanding. As a senior, what are you hoping to achieve in your final season on the field?
My main goal really is to just be capable of doing anything the team or the coaches ask me to do in order to win every game and in hopes of winning the conference. I feel like I've personally improved over each of the last 2 seasons, and I hope to continue on that trend. Next year, if I'm a more complete player than I have been, and I'm able to do things that I haven't done previously, then I'll be happy with how this year goes.
Outstanding. Well, thank you, Declan, and thanks again to Coach Lair, whose first season at the helm of the Gators will kick off September 2nd with a road game at Waynesburg. Thank you again, guys.
Appreciate it.